This week on the Baby Then What podcast, Amanda is 5 weeks postpartum, fresh out of what felt like a second hospital residency, and we are getting into the mindfuck that is postpartum. The hormones, the hemorrhoids, the boobs, the bleeding, and the 6-week checkup that nobody actually explains. Let's go.
Okay, welcome back to the Baby Then What podcast. Today we are talking about the mindfuck that is postpartum. Yes, today. Before we get into that, we just want to preface that we are wearing matchy outfits. I got this for Amanda for her postpartum outfits from Aerie, and then I bought them myself, and now she has them in every single color. Every color. They're coming out. It's like I'm subscribed to like new color. Oh my God. But they're honestly so comfortable, and they look really nice, and they're really affordable. They're very affordable. There's always a sale. Look out that usually Aerie is like 50% off. We're not sponsored. No. I bought them for all my friends postpartum. Speaking of postpartum, Amanda is now 5 weeks postpartum. Almost. But yes, 5 weeks postpartum. And this episode is all about what postpartum is like, what you're going to feel physically, what you're going to feel mentally, prepping for your 6-week checkup. Yeah. What the anticipation leading up to that. And really some of our best tips for healing your body and your brain. Yes, and your mind. And your brain and your mind and everything. And again, we've done a couple of these. I want to go back and like listen to like what we said the first time also. Right. It could be pretty funny to be like what we were saying. The first time you did it, you were pregnant with Benny. Yeah. So I did two postpartums. You were about to do a postpartum. Yeah. And now we're here 5 postpartums later. Crazy. So tell us, how are you feeling? I'm feeling a lot better now. That's why we are filming today. Yeah. In no world was I filming the last 4 weeks. No, that's why I started. But it's not just the postpartum part. It was also the medication. Right. I was on 900 milligrams of labetalol. A lot of you guys wrote in. I want to also say thank you. So many people wrote in. Some of the people are still on this drug 2 years later. Whoa. Yes. People are still on these. They try and wean you off. You're hoping to get weaned off by 6 weeks. That's basically what I learned. Oh, off? No. I started pre-pregnancy at 300, then 400 milligrams. Post-pregnancy, they took me off, which was a big fuck up at the hospital. Why do we do that? They were like, because the placenta's supposed to come out, the baby's supposed to come out, your blood pressure is supposed to go down. Yes, that is textbook. Right. That is textbook number 1. Right. So check that happens exactly. And also kind of stupid though, because I was on it before. So do you really think that it was just going to come off and like be fine? Right. I was not funny. 4 days postpartum, that was the start. And I started telling you guys the story on stories was when I checked myself because my blood pressure shot up so high. I had trouble breathing. And I was like, I looked at my husband. I was like, I'm really not well. Like, and probably were white. I was white as a ghost. I was like hyper. It was so bad. Check myself into so that was the start of postpartum. That's when your hormones start clicking. And also like I was bawling. They thought I was actually insane. I got really lucky that the doctor just had a baby a year ago and one of the nurses had a baby. So they were empathetic. Jesse and anyone else that walked in probably thought I was actually insane because we were hysterical. I was just hysterical, but it was like I need to go home to my baby. Right. Like now I'm laughing about it. It's pretty psychotic. I remember you telling me. I was for literally a couple hours. Like I wasn't there for 4 days. And I was like, I need to get home. And I remember out of FaceTime his mom who was with the baby and I was on. I started bawling. You would think that seeing your kid fine was okay. No, this is the opposite. It was. I don't remember having that with the other two so vividly. Yeah. That uncontrollable, the crying, the like. You can't stop yourself. No. You're literally hyperventilating, crying, and you can't stop. Well, this is just goes to show like hormones are such a like crazy vibrant part of our body that you can't really control. You can't. Like you can't control how you're feeling because if your hormones are like all over the place. And that's why when people say like women are crazy, it's like, yeah, because there's parts of us that are not in our control. I've never understood it until that moment where Adam was looking at me. He's like, can I do something? I was like, you want to stop crying? I'm trying to wipe my tears. I'm like, they're going to come in, do blood work, do this. And I'm literally sitting there sobbing. It's because you like consciously know how you're feeling is crazy. But yeah, you can't change it. There's nothing you can't stop yourself from crying. No. It's a very bizarre feeling. So that was the start of postpartum. It was not fun. Once they started low, and then my feet turned blue, but we won't get into that because I could be on here for 3 hours. My feet, so I'm playing, was from
Interesting. I had no idea until this, so this was nice to know. So now I'm not in the hands of the OB, but still have to do the 6-week checkup with the OB. I'm now part of OB Med. Postpartum OB.
Okay, well, at least it was like a dedicated.
It was a dedicated thing, but it took like a long time to like finally understand that.
But I'm surprised that they didn't like right off the bat be like, you're a high risk, because you had a high risk pregnancy.
Yes.
So you were with a high risk doctor, or you were in a high risk, read up or high risk screening. All of that sounds like it's shocking to me that you didn't like bypass the system and like
They're like,
they were no to figure it out no matter what.
no.
That's weird.
So we finally got down to, so I went from 900, which I was high as a kite. That was insane. So if any of you guys have been on it, I totally get it. It is a scary feeling unless you've smoked pot and actually understand. I was basically high morning to night. Like I didn't get,
Like, how do you care for a baby?
it was to do ago. It was not.
And you're fine to breastfeed on this.
You're fine to breastfeed on it. Yeah. There's 2 drugs that they tell you you're fine to breastfeed on. There's like minimal that goes through. Yes. That's like most women are put on this pill.
But you're like then supposed to physically care for a tiny newborn, and you're about to like fall down the stair of high.
Yes, that was weird. I was actually talking with someone, which was really crazy. They're like, they tell you can't smoke weed or pot and drive.
Right.
But I'm fine to be heavily medicated and drive.
They didn't tell you couldn't drive.
No, on the thing it says may cause dizziness, which what it is taking your blood pressure and it's dropping it really low.
Right.
So that the high, yeah, it's the high feeling.
Oh my God.
Whoever's on it, kudos to you. It is a very hard. I'm now down to 300. So I'm 5 weeks in. They finally triple the dose.
The dose.
Oh my God, that's horrifying. And the goal is to slowly wean off completely.
I have a friend that's still on it.
Yeah.
It's very many.
Yeah, well, they say the biggest thing also that we didn't really talk about actually ever is that when you get pregnant, you can release things that you didn't have before.
Right.
So like they basically explained to me that I could have had hypertension.
Right.
Or onset of starting to have hypertension. But all my pregnancies triggered it, that now I technically could also be on these pills for the rest of my life. They could say, you have hypertension now.
And this is a thing that
And sticking with it as a thing. And your pregnancies made it worse. But I remember my first doctor telling me, he goes, and this triage nurse, the last one, was like, you can't have any more. Like your body will not be able, like you will be heavily medicated
for the rest of your life. It's kind of crazy. I mean, like the whole thing with the diabetes too, right? Like you have gestational diabetes, you can get it up. That's when you get diabetes when you're pregnant. And sometimes it goes away when you're not pregnant. But I guess these are the kinds of things that can stick around with you after. It's so remarkable that like, I always am in awe of women because I'm like, to build your life up as a man, to have a great body, to have a great career, to be successful, like, yeah, all impressive things. Definitely takes effort, definitely takes discipline. But like to be a woman and have any sort of normal life, any kind of successful career, any kind of like hot body, looking great, feeling great, having friend, anything that is like any good in your life is like 7 times the effort that what a man would have to do.
100%. And men could never. If the human race would be dead, they can never, ever do this. And like, if you're a man and you're gonna like come on here and be like, I can do this, show me, prove it.
Yeah.
Fucking prove it, because there is no fucking world.
They get a vasectomy
and they're crying blood worker.
Yeah.
And that's like,
they're out for a month.
That's like, and it like this big fucking whatever.
That's like them shoving the baton up and like looking around.
Literally.
Nothing.
No, nothing. So postpartum, fucked up.
You know, they have that thing, it's like mimics the period cramp.
Yeah.
And then like they were putting it on like a level 2.
But they're like not like
dying.
I wanted to put the pump on Adam's nipples.
Yeah.
I know that. Okay, so let's shoot back now. So the milk comes in.
Yeah.
Your boobs become sexy. You are a hot. I actually made Adam take a picture of my boobs when the milk full of brisk came in. I was like, if I ever decide to get anything, this is what I want. He has like that idea. So he took my phone and we were literally at a doctor's office doing all the angles. I have them all of like, this is what I would want.
Yeah, I have that. I actually thought about that. I have a visual in my head of me with a big quirky melon.
Yeah, it looks great. It ain't feeling great, but I don't feel fucking great. They fucking hurt about the but I always reminded myself, But it literally lasts 2 days. As soon as the milk comes in, like that engorgement feeling, and then once you start breastfeeding and getting it out, it's fine. Like my boobs are like being, I don't make a lot of milk. So you could be having this the whole time. We're getting into Jesse's boobs after, but mine were 2 days. So if you don't make a lot of milk, it's 2 days. I didn't even use my vibrator this time. The one yeah, I didn't even have to. So the boob pain comes in. So talk about your boob pain.
To be honest, that feeling of milk coming and filling your
That I feel. It's like, here's something
weirdest feeling you'll ever feel. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just,
no, it's pins and needles.
it's
a needle. It's like, it's a needle. When they take blood from here, that is what it feels like, but it's going through like,
it's so
we're thinking like veins, like literally like veins.
so. But for me, like that feeling of like the full feeling of engorge, I woke up every morning feeling like that for 6 months.
Right.
To the point that if I pushed my boob, it would start spraying out.
Yeah.
Like literally spraying out everywhere. Like I couldn't feed my kids on my boob in the morning because it was like they were like literally they were at shower day. No, it was crazy. It was like literally in the morning with Ziggy, I would pump 20 ounces.
That's okay. So in reference, let's talk about, so some women make 20 ounces. That's a lot. I would make, I don't even, 4 ounces, I would make 4.
Yeah.
Between 2 breaths, and I still, so I'm 5 weeks in, the most I will make is 4 ounces. That's 100 milliliters.
Yeah, I think it was making 20 more at like 4 months. Yeah, and like
Still, you were probably making more than 100 milliliters. You're filling both things at the beginning. You're filling one.
then as I got over, I was filling 2 and 2.
Yes, I know.
One day I would have to, and then as the day goes, that was always the morning to prep it.
And I use always the biggest pump you will ever do.
And I trained my boobs to not pump in the night. So a lot of people will like feed their babies in the night on the boob. On the second kid I get, but the first one, I would like go to bed at 11 and Josh would do the night feed.
Right.
Or I would with a bottle because I wanted to know the amount.
Right.
And then I would pump in the morning. So it was like 8 hours.
Yes.
And so like they were literally
Well, you had during the day, you were feeding him every 3 hours.
yeah. But so had I probably fed him once in the night, I would have had like maybe 10 and 10. But still, it was like, there was a lot of fucking like, yeah, how?
No, you're a cow. You were a cow.
I really feel like a cow.
You're a cow. That's the boob part. But don't ever feel discouraged. If it doesn't work for you, stop. Like, I stopped with my first at 4 weeks, my second at 8 weeks, and we are getting to 5. And my pediatrician, I was just telling Jesse, was like, you are actually a psychopath right now. Like, it's starting to not really get feasible to do. Sorry, if you made enough milk like Jesse does, it is more feasible. Yeah, put on the pump and I am making so minimal, but I have to still release it or else I'm still going to be in pain. And you would think that it's not painful. It's still painful with 2 other kids. It's starting to get really hard to be a cow.
So the thing I will say about breastfeeding is that it is definitely a full-time job.
Yes.
On your first baby, it's a full-time job, but you have 2 parents. Like my husband was like in charge of the freezing and like he would help me clean the parts. And it was like one adult could be with the baby, one adult, I mean, me would be at breast like pumping and he could feed the baby or like I could pump. Like I wasn't doing anything. No, but it wasn't as annoying. No, they all. By the second kid, I was like, this is fucking brutal. Like, I don't want to sit with a pump on. The thing where you the boob and then the pump and then the formula and I have to clean all the
I'm by the trifecta. They call it the trifecta.
brutal. It's brutal.
No, we're basically getting to like, I took Jesse's idea yesterday. What my husband wanted to go to the mall. And I was like, well, I put her on the boobettes. Like everything is time. This is where one of my girlfriends just stopped by this morning. She's like, I made myself crazy. Yeah, me. This is a story. I made myself crazy because I was like, I have to be home at 7 o'clock. I have to feed blood. And I was like, so I'm not doing that. I'm not getting into that crazy.
It's just too much.
He was like, we're going to the mall. We have a night nurse. We have someone helping at nighttime and she will be here. So I took Jesse's idea. I took a bottle and I just took out a little bit. So I was able to survive from 7 and then I pumped when I got home around 10 o'clock. So I missed the 7 p.m. feeding from my boobs and I survived.
Yes.
You can survive, but you will have to release it.
I know this is kind of transitioning to a breastfeeding episode, but I love the hand pump Yes. So the automatic pump is really great. I wear the pump in the car a lot. Like if you're driving around, if you're lost and you have to go back to work, like I would, now that they have all these hands-free pumps, you can be pumping all day under your shirt, driving in the car, whatever. It's the best time, if you ask me, because you're not holding your baby. I've done it so many times. And it's so good. But in other scenarios like yours, where you just need to release a little bit and you just got to get it out in like 5 minutes, and there's that little hand pump.
Yes, and it got out.
You just go hard. Oh, you go hard, and get out of that like engorgement,
And then you're fine.
and you still, if you want to continue breastfeeding, you want the pump.
Yes, you want
If you're gonna do the squeeze,
it's slowly
it's gonna reduce your supply. So if you want to keep it up, I would recommend the hand pump. If you want to go down,
squeeze it in. I just took a video for me to have it.
what?
It like the little driplets. Adam's like, this is weird. I was
You know what?
you're actually a cow.
You know what the craziest thing is? Take a bath, squeeze your milk out in the bath. It's like this, like
It's really fur.
I'm not gonna post it because it's like literally on nipples. But it's cool.
It was very cool. Okay, we're moving on from breastfeeding, and if we want, we can.
We're gonna do a whole episode because people do have a lot of questions, and I do think people get confused of the schedule of like, do you feed and the pump and
So we'll do a full episode on that because we also, as Jesse's saying, have two, like, I didn't make a lot of milk and she did, so this would be great for both.
And I would say, I would recommend if you're having second or third kids, if you can, just feed them on the boot. Yeah, more than the pump. Because then it's like if you have to pump, and you have another kid at home, your husband now has to watch both children. Yes. And you have to sit there with the pump. Yeah. At least if you feed, you're on baby, he's on, yes.
Yeah, it's
the whole thing.
3 is it's a whole, I don't know what you're, I don't know. Okay, let's move on to, so the milk has come in now, and now if you have delivered from your vagina, how are we going to help our vagina?
Yeah.
Okay. So the biggest things, and I did a whole thing about what I packed, and I'll tell you exactly what I used. You need the ice packs on your vagina, even if you did not rip.
Yes.
For honestly, the first 4 days, because your vagina is bruised. It does not have to rip, but your vagina is bruised.
It's like the bones are hurting.
The bones, the everything, the ice packs really heal. You need the peri bottle only truly if you ripped.
Right.
Because you can use it for the first 2 days.
Right. You're not supposed to wipe stitches.
You're not supposed to wipe stitches. That was the biggest thing. But if you do not rip, you really don't need it.
Right.
You can just wipe your vagina.
That's true. I didn't even think
You
of that.
totally wiped your vagina. I used
It feels nice.
the water feels nice to clean it up.
Yeah.
But if you're like in a thing where you're like, I can't, if you didn't rip, you can wipe your vagina.
When you got that what? And you can use it for your kids after their
Their watery cans, or just get it to your older kids. I was going to give it to them just the plain bath. I see like one of them like pouring it. I got to do that. The main thing, yes, sit spa. Right away, I did the sit spa.
do the fucking sit spa.
Yeah, every time. How many reels do I have you going, do the fucking sit spa?
It literally will save your life. You will be in burning, agonizing pain. Yeah. And it will soothe it, especially if you have stitches.
I was going to say, you took the words out of my, if you had stitches, do the sit spa. And then, so the main things, Ice Pack, a Freedom Mom, and there's so many other brands that have like the foam, pull whatever. Like I literally said, like pretend it is a Subway sandwich and whatever you have, just all pile it on and put it on your vagina. Everything is cooling. But if you didn't have stitches, a week later, it's literally just the bleeding. Like it really starts subsiding the pain, but save everything because I remember like I'm going to wait for my next period. That first period is brutal.
Yeah.
That's a whole other episode also, but the first period back after baby, keep a couple of those ice packs. I did it and that was a lifesaver to me because they usually do tell you not to wear a tampon for your first period back.
Yeah, you don't want you shoving anything up there for like at least 2 months.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
A fun fact that I didn't know after giving birth the first time was that you actually get contractions again after you give birth in the form of your uterus now contracting. So it contracts to open
and it contracts to close. And you want it to happen because you know that your uterus is shrinking. Your uterus starts here. And I was laughing because when I went in, if you guys were following along, when they thought I had in my stomach, it was just a piece of diarrhea stuck there. The girl was doing the ultrasound. She's like, whoa, your uterus like really dropped down low. I was like, okay, got something out of this. So it starts out really high when you give birth and it's slowly going down. And the goal for it, obviously, I think that was like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. below your belly button. The goal for it is to be below your belly button, and you could still feel it.
Yeah.
You will feel it. Now it's just mushy and it's still there. That's why they do say the 6 week. I never really understood the 6 week checkup. I think it's a 6 week, not the sex part, not the
Down uterus went back.
it's your uterus going back down. They want the bleeding to subside. They want that no one said that though.
No.
What is the 6 week checkup? You think it's to have sex. Can you physically put a dick up your vagina again? What is it? What else was in your break?
I'm really sure the medical community did not create a 6-week checkup to have sex,
To check if you can have sex.
We think
That is all I thought. I'm like, I can have sex again. Go back on birth control, which I will not be doing. But it is checking on your uterus, which they should be checking.
yes.
Okay.
That's a very should be
They should be feeling it. They should be checking it.
This is also where, like, one of our friends, a piece of the placenta had got stuck in the uterus, which is not what you want. Like, the whole placenta is supposed to come out. And this is where you can get like crazy infections and stuff. So your 6-week appointment might be too long to wait for someone to say. So if you're having like weird symptoms that
They're
are
having blood clots that are
massive
a
clog,
golf ball emergency. You should not be having
or pain, like, you should be feeling generally not great and a little it's throbbing and
It should be like a period. It should be a period. You should be having a period, but not actually having a period pain.
if it's more intense than that,
Something's wrong. Go get checked. Our friends have had it. Don't like think, boy, it's normal postpartum. It's not. You should not be filling up a pad in an hour.
yeah, it should be manageable, annoying, but manageable.
Yes. And now in 5 weeks, the random blood, like if I go on a long walk, I'll come back. I will bleed a little bit more because it's still shrinking. I'm still not at that 6 mark. So something is still contracting and shrinking, but I have worn underwear for a couple days. So it's been really nice.
I wonder actually if you don't breastfeed, if your uterus takes longer to contract because the breastfeeding straight to the uterus time the
It could.
yeah,
It could.
interesting. I don't know.
It could.
The other thing is that you talk about a lot is hemorrhoids. You must take Restoralax or some kind of gentle laxative so that your poos are.
Let's talk about the hemorrhoid. So
You know that I have some.
yeah, I know. I want to talk about this. So the first 2 pregnancies and postpartum, I had hemorrhoids off the bat. So the first one I have to use the donut, which is why I always tell you guys to have it prepared. We have a donut that you will not know. Okay, so have it prepared. You don't have to open it. You could return it. Buy it on Amazon. Don't open it. I just have it ready for you. The first one I needed it off the bat. Like I couldn't even sit in a car.
It's basically like a tube that you sit on, literally like this big. Like I literally have this tube. Literally, you can put your baby in if literally, and it just put it so that your sits bones are like in the air versus like sitting on that thing and killing you. And that I just got my hemorrhoids checked, and he was like, "You get hemorrhoids more from sitting." Yes. So it's like you get double hit with like the sitting while breastfeeding, and you can't lie down and breastfeed. So
I fight you. I think hemorrhoids are way worse than vagina healing. Way worse. Way more painful. Way worse.
but they're also treatable.
Yes, they are treatable. There is creams. There is make sure you get the touch pads when you're cleaning because how are you wiping your hemorrhoids? You're taking a poo. You can't use regular.
So
you need
internal hemorrhoid.
Okay, no. Out. When you give birth, it's out. They're coming out.
Right.
They're coming out. You wipe and it bleeds. I wipe and I feel hemorrhoids. You feel balls outside your ass. That's the only way to explain. There's like little balls sticking out your ass. I'll show you a picture after. So
I don't know how.
even tax pads to wipe because you can't use. That's where you use your peri bottle to clean up poo if you wet poo, and the tax pads to soothe it. And there's cream. I was putting cream all the time, and it took until let's say a week ago for it to go away. And the sitz bath is the only thing that's soothing it. And they're really fucking painful. And mine didn't show up till a week postpartum. Why? That was really strange to me. I was like, my God, I got away with it. She flew out. No stitches, no hemorrhoids. And then, whoa, welcome to the party. So take care of your hemorrhoids, take care of your vagina. Another really big part that we have to talk about is postpartum anxiety and postpartum depression. We have a full episode on it. We were both okay with our first. I talked about how when I had my second, I had postpartum anxiety and probably a little bit of postpartum depression. Ace was a winter baby. My kids were 17 months apart. I basically was like, I feel like I'm in Groundhog's Day. I kept passing him over. I really didn't cuddle with him. I didn't enjoy it. I love my kid to fucking pieces.
Yeah, but
And it was, I'm like sad now thinking that like I didn't do it with him. I don't have pictures a lot with Ace on my
really,
chest. Like I kept couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I was miserable.
yeah.
It's a real thing. It is so real. This time I took a different mindset where I was like, this is the last. Please enjoy it. Postpartum will end. It will end. And she's already 5 weeks. And I'm like, she's a different baby.
Yeah, you're not out of the newborn. You're out of the like I was done.
Real new 8 weeks, newborn is done. And when that kid is 3 months old, it is a totally different ballgame. It is like totally different. So as much as it was a crazy 2 weeks, 3 weeks of like hospitals, I'm really enjoying it. I'm taking it all in. But postpartum anxiety and postpartum depression is a real thing. So,
And it affects way more people than you think. Yeah, there's this like thought that like you just gave birth and you should be lucky. Like there's so many people that have miscarriages or lose babies. And like, if you have a baby, you should be happy and you should just like be okay. And going back to what we said before, like if your hormones are fucking with you in any way, like will change your mindset in a way that like you can't control and you should feel guilty and you should just vocalize it, speak about it. And I think the more everyone speaks about it, the better we all feel about it. And I think it's sad that people were ever made to feel like you can't feel off. Or you just went through something so fucking intense.
the biggest hormone crash you will ever have in your life. I fully felt it. I really wanted to feel everything this time.
That's what I felt I was like,
I want to know. I wanted to feel everything. I wanted to like, even though I had the 2 kids running around, I was like, you know what? Like by the way, the mom guilt for more than one kid, really bad. This one was the worst, but it's hard because you're fighting with yourself saying, I want to be with my older kids. I also didn't feel well in the first trimester. I wasn't with my older kids. And now I'm looking at Arlo and I'm like, oh my God, you're a human.
yeah,
You're a real human. I just missed, when you really think about it, a good almost year.
no.
9 months, you're pregnant for 9 months. The first trimester, I was sick. I was really involved in the second trimester. The last couple of weeks of pregnancy, I was in my bed, not doing anything. You can't lift it. You can't run around with them. I couldn't. You could because you had that energy. I couldn't do any of it. So now I'm like really trying. I like gave my nanny the baby when they come home. I'm trying to reduce that pump at 4 o'clock or that.
You're trying to be really present from like 4 to 7.
Because I really am noticing now, like he's a different human. And like they say, like this is the last year of him being a baby. Like our eldest kids are going to SK. It's a really big thing. But then in my head, I'm like, I'm never going to have a baby again.
Yeah.
She will never be this little again. I will never experience this again. It's a really fucked up thing. Plus all the hormones. So it's literally that like postpartum is a mind fuck.
And I think because you have the older kids, like I'm noticing it with Benny's too, not baby, but I'm like seeing Ziggy grow up and I'm like, it's done. Like all the little toddler, it's done. They're done. So it's like if you don't enjoy I think that's what makes you enjoy the second and third or whatever, fourth if you have it, because you're just like watching the older ones grow up and all those things that you saw on Instagram, like they're starting to come true of like, it's not your little kid anymore. It could be the last time that they asked you to carry them and all these things. So it just gets like,
No, it's really.
it washes up your emotions.
No, it's, already postpartum. I'm like, okay, I'll be fine. But my biggest advice on that, definitely until like, let's say the 5-week mark, the mom guilt will be real. Let it, your 5 weeks is not 9 months. 5 weeks is not 2 and 3 months short. It's so short. If it is your last baby, if this is what you wanted, stay in bed with the baby. Cuddle the baby, just enjoy it. Do skin to skin with the baby and enjoy it and take a million pictures because I look back and I'm like, my God, there's only 5 weeks.
Yeah.
It is so fast.
And then it's
So fast and then it's done. I'm already holding her face forward.
right.
Like I was like walking around with her face forward. I was like, you were literally a chicken nugget a day ago. It's crazy. Didn't barely opened up her eyes and now she's like looking at me. So fucking enjoy it. And we always say, and everyone always says, like, it's so fucking fast.
I know, it's crazy. Well, you're giving me like baby fever, which is not great because I don't know if
Jesse's gonna have it.
third, but if you're about to give birth, if you're in postpartum, it's not easy, but like you can have a different perspective. You can look at things a little bit more cup half full instead of cup half empty.
Yes.
And if you have questions or need help or whatever,
We are here. We've done it 5 times now. And I'm still going to be postpartum until 2 years because I fully agree that it's 2 years.
yeah. And I just did my post hormone episode on my 2 years. So if you haven't listened to that,
Go back. She has 2 episodes, her first and her second. And
it's all about hormones postpartum up until the 2 year point, which I'm in now. So it's not like this early hormone stuff. It's like long-term hormone stuff, which again, I had no idea.
and many people deal with it. Sorry, many people have it and don't know what's going on. So definitely check that out. Again, follow us, Spotify, YouTube, Apple, wherever you want to listen to your podcast, because this is how we can continue thriving and doing it. And
We'll see you guys next week.
see you next week.
Bye.